Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News. Tragedy strikes at an Alabama birthday party, and family ties break when a son gets charged for murder.
BNA was evacuated on Sunday, and a woman is in critical condition after an altercation in downtown Nashville. And MTSU follows new Tennessee law banning a popular app. All those stories, plus your local weather and sports, Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Ottman.
And I'm Alicia Saeed. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
A deadly shooting took place in Dadeville, Alabama this weekend. Authorities have confirmed 4 deaths and 28 injuries. Partygoers were attending a Sweet 16 birthday party at Mahogany Masterpiece Dance Studio. The shooting started at around 10:30 p.m. President Biden and his team are in contact with local law enforcement to monitor the situation and offer support. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency is leading the investigation. There is currently no public information on a suspect or a motive. This investigation is ongoing, and we will provide updates as they come.
Trying to confirm and understand everyone that was in the venue there near the 200 block last night. We're going through that process right now. We're going through it in a very methodical way. We're not going to rush. We're not going to rush to failure. We're going to do exactly what we need to do to ensure justice is brought to bear for those families.
The Laverne Police Department is mourning the loss of a 17-year veteran. The Laverne Police Department announced Lieutenant Robert Hayes, age 53, passed away just 1 month after he was diagnosed with cancer. Lieutenant Hayes was diagnosed with terminal pancreatic cancer in March of 2023 and passed away this morning, surrounded by family and friends. Lieutenant Hayes worked multiple roles, including serving as a taser instructor, chant team member, and public information officer. Funeral arrangements have not been announced at this time. The Laverne Police Department will release details when they are available.
A woman is hospitalized after a shooting in downtown Nashville. The 49-year-old Cheatham County woman is seriously injured after being shot near the entrance of John Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge. The shooting happened just before 2 a.m. Once officials arrived on the scene, the woman was taken to Vanderbilt Medical Center. Metro Police say that both parties involved in the shooting have connections to each other. Currently, publicly released information is limited, but police say they are following strong investigation leads. We will have updates as this case progresses.
A Lawrenceburg family faced tragedy this weekend. On Sunday, police responded to a shooting on David Street in Lawrenceburg around 2 p.m. 21-year-old Gavin Hamons was arrested and charged with first-degree murder for fatally wounding his 47-year-old father, Tabe Hamons. When officials arrived on the scene, they found Tabe with multiple gunshot wounds. He was transferred to Southern Tennessee Regional Medical Center, where he later passed away. Officials concluded that Gavin shot his father multiple times following an argument. Gavin is being held at the Lawrence County Jail without bond.
Concourse C has been reopened at the Nashville International Airport after being evacuated. A number of travelers and employees were evacuated at around 2:45 p.m. due to a solvent creating a noxious smell. BNA reports that the Metro Nashville Fire Department took samples which revealed the substance to be euthoxyethanol acetate, which is a substance used in lacquers, varnishes, and resins. The Metro Nashville Fire Department conducted an air quality test and determined that there were no contaminants. One person was taken to the hospital with unspecified but non-life-threatening injuries.
Antioch police are on the lookout for a deadly hit-and-run suspect. A pedestrian was hit and killed on the 1000s block of Bell Road in front of the Casa Fiesta restaurant. Police say there were no witnesses. However, they think the vehicle was a white SUV or van. The crash happened around 9 p.m. Sunday night. The identity of the individual that was killed has not yet been released. If you have any information regarding this case, please reach out to the Antioch Police Department.
1 death and 3 injuries occurred after a multi-car accident on Saturday. 3 cars were involved in the crash that occurred on Highway 25 after a 2006 Dodge Ram was waiting to turn onto Rock Springs Road. The vehicle in the middle was a Chrysler 300 that was run into after the Dodge Ram failed to stop. The passenger of the Chrysler died upon impact while the driver was critically injured. 2 minors in the Dodge Ram were also injured during the accident. Authorities have stated that no charges are being filed in connection with the accident. 2 suspects were arrested on Sunday after being intercepted by police in a stolen car. The car, a 2008 Ford Explorer with the keys left inside, was reported stolen on April 7th in Nashville. The suspects, an adult male and female, were arrested and reportedly in possession of cocaine and heroin at the time of the arrest.
Governor Bill Lee has signed a new law into order that will affect public universities statewide. The law prohibits access to apps and platforms that are based out of China on all public university campuses and internet. This ban includes the popular TikTok app. Over the weekend, MTSU sent a mass email to all faculty, staff, and students stating the campus will implement the ban immediately. From this point forward, anyone wanting to access TikTok on MTSU's campus can only do so through cellular data or personal Wi-Fi. And now Ian Wells joins us with our first look at the weather. Ian?
Thanks, Sarah. The sun is shining all across the mid-state today, and even after it sets, our skies will remain clear. Murfreesboro is the warmest with a high of 68, and we have Shelbyville not far behind with a high of 67. Woodbury and Mount Juliet share a high of 66, and Manchester and McMinnville are also matching today. They share a high of 65. And finally, Smithville has a high of 64. Tonight, I'll have the information on the forecast, but for now, it's back to you.
Thanks, Ian. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, we check in with axe throwing champions right now here in Murfreesboro and a new addition to Murfreesboro to look forward to. Stick around.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Today, Bobby Schneider takes a look at a local business in Murfreesboro that has 2 people who are making history.
A local hangout spot in Murfreesboro has been gaining some traction. Customers at this establishment come for the environment, but specifically enjoy leaving their own mark. At Murfreesboro Axe, many people come to chuck some axes with friends and family. And others come to sharpen up their game.
So I've been coming about a year. I started at the Spring League of 2022, so I've just completed my first year of throwing here.
Like a tournament every now.
After Lucas Johnson's first night of throwing axes, he was instantly hooked.
I have a video somewhere of me trying to stick the axe the first time we hung up boards, and I wasn't very good at it. After like 10 or 15 throws, I finally got one to stick.
So much so that he decided to carve out his own place featuring the sport.
It's been good. I like having an entertainment type of aspect for people to come to, something that Murfreesboro doesn't have nearly enough of, I don't think.
Despite taking a while to get a handle of it, he now plays competitively with his duels partner, Hayden Brown.
So Lucas talked me into joining league. I got second right behind him, and then he talked me into going to a couple tournaments, and we were doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good doesn't cut it. This pair has been a cut above the rest, even at the international level.
Myself and Hayden have won the Duels World Championship 3 times. We also won the U.S. Open in 2022.
Nowadays, the duo stays sharp by practicing every day in hopes of hitting an even bigger target of 4 straight world championships.
A lot of our matches come down to like 1 or 2 points or 1 or 2 throws. So we try to do as much as we can to prepare for those situations so that we don't have to think twice about it in the moment.
In Murfreesboro,
There we go. Dude, good shot.
Bobby Schneider with Middle Tennessee News.
Thanks, Bobby. And if you want to try your hand at throwing some axes, you can go to the Murfreesboro Town Square.
A potential disaster this weekend was subdued before the situation became Ari. On Saturday afternoon, the Smyrna Fire Department responded to a fire at the Colony Square Apartments at 500 Rock Springs Road. Officials report that the fire most likely started in the kitchen of one of the apartments. Officials also said that there were thankfully no injuries. Having an escape plan can be life-saving. This serves as a reminder to always be prepared to deal with the fire correctly and always be present when you have something in the oven or on the stove.
The first attempted launch for SpaceX's new giant rocket has been called off. In South Padre Island, Texas, SpaceX called off their first Monday scheduled launch of their new giant rocket named Starship. The launch was halted at the 40-second mark during the countdown due to a stuck valve in the first stage booster. Launch controllers were unable to fix it in time, thus resulting in canceling the attempt. Instead, SpaceX continued the countdown and finished fueling the rocket, calling it a dress rehearsal. SpaceX plans to use Starship to send people and cargo to the moon and ultimately Mars. The updated launch attempt is now scheduled for Wednesday.
Murfreesboro residents have a new public park to look forward to. West Park will be built in the Blackman community around a residential area, Veterans Parkway. The city acquired the 149-acre piece of land from Middle Tennessee Electric. Funding for the park has been set aside with construction hopefully beginning in the fall. Park amenities could include walking trails, multiple playgrounds, pavilions, and volleyball courts. Mayor Shane McFarland thinks the land could be big enough to include both the park and a new city school. MTSU students and staff interested in the performing arts have a date to look forward to. The MTSU Department of Theater and Dance Production presents their upcoming spring dance concert. Concerts start on Thursday, April 20th and go until Saturday, April 22nd. The shows are all located inside of Tucker Theater each night at 7:30 p.m. Tickets for each performance are $10 for general admission to the public and $5 for K through 12 students. MTSU students, faculty, and staff can attend for free by presenting their university ID at the ticket booth. The Middle Tennessee State Performing Arts Center hopes to share their hard work with us all, and they hope to see you there.
And now Ian is back with tonight's forecast. Ian, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Sarah. We can expect a clear night, but you might find a little bit chilly thanks to the wind. All of our counties can expect wind speeds between 10 and 20 miles per hour. As long as you put on a jacket before leaving tonight, you should be fine. Mount Juliet has our warmest low at 45 degrees. Shelbyville, Woodbury, and Murfreesboro all share a low of 44. McMinnville and Smithville will drop to 43 degrees tonight, and lastly we have Manchester with a low of 42. There's hardly any chance of rain tonight, so prep for that. wind, and you'll be fine. I'll have more information on our 5-day forecast when we come back. Sarah, back to you.
Thanks, Ian. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, Ian will be back once again with our full 5-day forecast. And Dylan Simmons is over in the MTN Sports Den, so stick around.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News, and now Ian is back with us for our 5-day forecast. Ian, what does our week look like?
This week's 5-day forecast is starting off pretty cool, with today's high being a sunny 68 degrees with 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. However, the lowest temperature we'll be seeing today will be a cool 44 degrees. Tomorrow we'll be getting quite a bit warmer with a high of 78 degrees and a low of 51. The sun will be partially covered by some clouds, and the winds will also be calming down with a bit of the average being 10 to 15 miles per hour. The warmest day of the week is going to be Wednesday with a high of 83 degrees and some partly cloudy skies. The low is 57 degrees on Thursday. The weather will be almost identical with the high being 83 degrees and the low being a bit higher than Wednesday at 63. Finally, on Friday, the temperatures will be coming down a bit with the high at 74 degrees and the low at 57. You should also expect a little bit of rain throughout the day, so don't forget your raincoat. Sarah, back to you.
Thanks, Ian. And when we come back, Dylan Simmons is over in the MTN Sports Den, where he has a story about our men's tennis team having to say goodbye to 3 seniors who have left an unmatched legacy at the Adams Tennis Complex. Stick around.
Son, Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back, everyone. Softball charged it up like Pikachu at the Blue Raiders softball field this past weekend. Middle Tennessee renewed the 100 Miles of Hate series against Western Kentucky. Game 1 was heartbreaking, as Middle Tennessee would give up 2 runs in the top of the 7th to lose after a 3-2 lead. Game 2 would be redemption, as the Raiders would find a way to claim a 4-2 win, thanks in part to a double-duty performance by Cameron Karsish. The series would come down to Gretchen Mead rectifying her Friday loss by pitching a complete game shutout to lead MT to a 1-0 win. Next up for Blue Raiders softball is Tennessee State in Nashville on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Middle Tennessee baseball fell in the land of the Alamo this past weekend. The Raiders traveled to UTSA to play the Roadrunners in a 3-game weekend series. In Game 1, MT got stunned like they were fighting stone cold by giving up 2 early home runs, which led to a 13-5 blowout loss. Game 2 was more of the same, as they ended up giving away 14 runs. In the series finale, Middle would mount a furious comeback after an early 5-0 deficit to bring the game all the way to 5-4. Despite that, they ultimately fell after 9 innings. Next up for the Raiders, they play the Lipscomb Bisons this Tuesday night at 6 on ESPN+, where you can catch myself and Grant Langston on the call. Women's tennis capped their regular season with a fantastic conference win. The Lady Raiders would leave the Lady Miners with nothing but fool's gold as they dominated them for a 6-1 victory. All of the senior players each contributed massively on senior day by helping the team to claim both singles and doubles points. This marks their first undefeated season at the Cathedral of Tennis since 2015. Next up for Middle Tennessee is the CUSA Women's Tennis Tournament, which kicks off this Thursday in Denton, Texas. Men's tennis finished their regular season in grand fashion as well. The Blue Raiders took victory against Tennessee Tech and UT Southern by sweeping both teams in the Cathedral on Friday. On Sunday, they played better on the bluegrass than Bill Monroe to defeat number 32 Louisville by a score of 4-1. Stein slump clinched the victory for MT after singles wins by the likes of Andre Horak and Pavel Model. The Raiders' next challenge is the fight for their 4th straight CUSA title, which begins April 21st in the CUSA Men's Tennis Tournament. Speaking of, the men's tennis team had to say goodbye to their big 3 of seniors this past Friday. The 3 have left their mark in the MTSU history books with all their achievements, including 3 straight CUSA championships. With their eyes set on a 4th this weekend, let's hear from MTN reporter Matthew Hayden, who is showing us their story. And as you can see, MTN Sports is definitely really going well with this package, and a great job by Matthew Hayden on that one. We'll get back to that later. We don't have the package, unfortunately, today, but we'll move on and we'll get more information on that. And I do want to give a quick update that we just got into the newsroom here today, and that deals with Baron Soiler, who ended up going off of the team, and we wanted to report on that because we just got an update from Jimmy Borendame, and we're going to be keeping an eye out for that in the future, but he was put off of the team due to academic reasons, so we'll make sure to keep an eye on that in the future. and all of your MTN sports coverage in the future. We'll make sure to keep an eye on that and make sure to watch out for all of you and make sure to cheer on all the teams as they look to potentially claim championships this weekend, both men's and women's tennis. That's all I've got for you today. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. I know we'll be cheering on our men's tennis team from home and hoping for that 4th championship. And wrapping up our show tonight and this semester, we wanted to remind everyone to stay tuned to all of our social media pages and our website. Middle Tennessee News will be traveling across the world to discover more hidden treasures.
Students and faculty will be visiting England and Scotland over the summer. MTN will not only be visiting places like Abbey Road and Big Ben, but finding those places that are off the grid. We look forward to sharing our travel stories with you. Make sure to stay tuned to our social media sites and go off the beaten path with Middle Tennessee News. Thank you for joining us with Middle Tennessee News. I'm Alicia Saeed, joined by Sarah Oppman, Dylan Simmons, and Ian Wells. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
And make sure to follow us on all of our social media sites as well, on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you Wednesday, April 19th for our final show of the semester as we say goodbye to all of our seniors. I know I will sure miss this place as I also graduate. It has been an amazing time working with Middle Tennessee News. I can speak for myself and all the other seniors leaving us today, but we are sad. But the journey's been amazing and can't see what everyone does after graduation and where we all end up. So make sure you stay tuned to see where all of our reporters and anchors go after graduation.
And we're going to miss you a lot, Sarah. We're going to miss all of our seniors. And we're so excited, looking forward to what's going to be next for MTN and what we have to hold. And we hope you guys stay tuned to watch us unravel what we have for you guys.
Yes. See you next week and be prepared to see a lot of happy tears, but a little bit of sad ones too.
Thank you so much for watching MTN.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just a little moment. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio